All right, so this book is called Catch and Kill. I promised you guys I was gonna review this book. Right now, taking a break, I'm like, let me knock this out. So, Ronan Farrow is a child of Woody Allen. Now, first of all, when I heard that, I was kind of like, oh, I don't know, man. I really don't know. How's this guy going to write a book about sexual assault when his dad is Woody Allen and he already has some funny style stuff going on? I'm gonna talk about that for a little bit, but how I came into this book was I was just checking the Audible bestsellers. I was checking them bestsellers, and this was one of the books that was one of the bestsellers. So I was like, okay, let me get a description of the book. So I got a description of the book, and it was talking about how he worked for NBC, but NBC was trying to bury the story about Weinstein because he was doing all of this research. He was speaking with Rose McGowan. He was speaking with different women who are in the industry that were afraid to expose Harvey Weinstein because if they did, that could mean the end of their career. And what's funny is he made no mention of Lupita Nyong'o. All of the women that were brought up in this book, majority of them were either Latina or they were white, right? But what's crazy is he never brought up. I don't know if he wrote the book before she made that revelation, but I was a little bit. There was some trepidation. I was like, this guy's gonna be bringing up Bill Cosby, and to my surprise, he didn't really bring up Bill Cosby other than to kind of reference some book that spoke about how some executive at NBC was trying to cover up the Bill Cosby situation. So he didn't really go at length about Bill Cosby. He was staying with the SWSs, if you know what I'm talking about, right? So his thing was Harvey Weinstein. His thing was Matt Lauer. His thing was the different guys who had kind of had power. Guys who really, they could really make a difference as far as you earning a check or not. So he kind of goes into depth about this one chick. You've heard that recording, all right? There's a recording of Harvey Weinstein like, come on, please, just come with me. Just do it. Just come on. And the lady's like, please get away from me. Please, no, stop. She's some kind of actress that is overseas. Forget what this lady's name is, okay? But that's the woman that you hear in that recording. Now, she signed a non-disclosure agreement, and that audio wasn't supposed to get out because there was. See, this is what Harvey Weinstein would do. He would, in Hollywood, there's no formal process when it comes to getting a role. You know how black men and a lot of us, we would joke about, certain people getting a role. I remember being in the barbershop and guys was kind of joking like, man, how did Samuel L. Jackson get that part in Star Wars? And they were kind of joking about a director's chair. But this book right here kind of exposes that whole practice of the director's chair. And these white women would kind of get coerced into meeting him upstairs in his hotel room. And when they would get to his hotel room, he would kind of tell them, look, you either give me a back massage or you give me a rub or you let me kind of take advantage of you, or otherwise you just don't get no parts in Hollywood. Your whole career is over with. So a lot of these women would try to get out. They would try to escape. But they knew that, look, if they didn't kind of give in to this dude, he was going to end their career. And Mira Sorvino, she was brought up in the book. Mira Sorvino, I'm a little bit older. I'm 35 years old. But I can remember when Mira Sorvino was supposed to be that next white chick. She was supposed to be like Jennifer Aniston. She was supposed to be the hot white chick. She was in all the 90s movies. She was supposed to be big. But the thing was, she never really blew up. And I couldn't really figure out why until I read this book. And she was talking about how she kind of got blackballed. And Rose McGowan, she was talking about the different stories. Like some of these actresses, not only would he smash them or rape them, not only would he rape them, but he would require them to bring women along. Like, look, you not only am I going to take advantage of you, I have to bring, you got to bring women to me that I think is attractive. And he wouldn't stop bothering them. He wouldn't stop harassing them. And everybody knew about Harvey Weinstein. I believe you could even check. There's some kind of joke that I think Seth MacFarlane had made about Harvey Weinstein back in the day. Right? Before this whole thing broke out and this was like a big story. But Harvey Weinstein was predatory. Super predatory. And he would tell these women, look, you want to make it in the industry? This is the way it is. And a lot of women, unfortunately, a lot of white women, they kind of, they were like, hey man, fuck. What can I do? I want this role in this movie. I gotta do it. And a lot of women were scared because of the connections he had. So he was doing the NBC thing. He was about to come out with the story, and NBC was like, no. So the title of the book is called Catch and Kill, because this is a practice that a lot of media companies and enterprises, this is what they do. These big, huge media conglomerates, what they do is they'll buy a story, they'll purchase a story, the rights to the story and everything, and then they'll kill it. They'll bury it. You'll never hear about it. And that's what Harvey Weinstein did at NBC. They were trying to kill this story. And it's so deep, he hired a espionage group full of Russians. And what they would do is kind of follow these journalists. And they would do the 4Ds that Byron Allen talks about, where they would kind of discredit you. They would come up with all of these bad stories. They would demonize you. They would do whatever they could to kind of make you seem like a bad person. And as I said earlier, they were trying to connect him with his father and say, yeah, this guy is trying to talk about sexual assault, but his father did these kind of bad things. Even though Woody Allen and his father they had a cool relationship. Harvey Weinstein and Woody Allen were I guess buddies, where they knew of each other. So he was trying to do this cronyism thing, like, hey, tell your son to calm down. And he had Russian spies following him, and he feared for his life, because these people he was messing with, Harvey Weinstein, and the people that were trying to protect Harvey Weinstein, they didn't like that this guy had access to this type of information. And everybody had some kind of trepidation as far as releasing this story. So it's a very, very interesting book. And it goes to show you that there's a lot of white men in power. I haven't even gotten into Matt Lauer, where the type of stuff that Matt Lauer was doing, the type of rapey things that he done, or that he had done in his career during being at NBC. But man, I could go on and on and on. It's a really, really good book to purchase. This is what they were doing. They were telling us, hey, Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, this and this and this and that. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, You had guys like Harvey Weinstein and Matt Lauer. I'm out, man.